Hey guys, I know it's been a while. Today I want to show you what is, in my opinion, the best tank build you can run right now. I know there are a lot of guides out there, both Chinese and global, but most of them don't really explain how to properly optimize DPS on this class. And let me be very clear, this class actually deals a huge amount of damage, and in some situations it can even outperform traditional DPS classes. In this video I'll explain why certain choices are made, and why some inner ways that look great on paper actually end up losing you damage unless you fully understand how to use them. Most importantly, this guide is focused on how to play tank properly in the current version of the game, not in some future patch that doesn't even exist yet, because I know it's kind of the trend on YouTube nowadays for some reason. First, it's important to understand that in the current version of the game, raid bosses deal very little damage to tanks. This is the main reason why this build does not use exquisite scenery. In almost every fight, it's actually a DPS loss, with the Void King being the only real exception. That's simply because in most encounters, you're not blocking or deflecting often enough to justify it. You can just face tank everything and actually deal more damage that way. So let's talk about the build. Obviously, I'm using the Thundercry blade with the Stormbreaker spear. When it comes to inner ways, I'm running Adaptive Steel, Moral Chant, and Battle Anthem. Battle Anthem is a bit lacking until you get it to tier 4. Kind of sad that the previous upgrades are kind of useless, but I would still recommend it because it will increase your charge skill damage of your charged heavy, which is your main source of damage. And for the last inner way, I'm running Art of Resistance because it will give you a shield that once upgraded, this inner way will also increase your critical rate by a lot, and critical rate is what you want to be running on tank, so yeah, that's a great inner way. About the mystic skills usage, as a tank, you generally want to avoid using them, since they result in a DPS loss. The one exception I recommend is Golden Body. Golden Body can be useful sometimes, very situational but extremely valuable if you know a boss is about to stagger or stun you mid-combo, especially during your spear rotation, allowing you to tank the hit and keep your damage going. Now let's talk about the gear sets, because that is where things get a bit confusing for a lot of players. Tanks have multiple viable options, and honestly this is one of the trickiest parts of the build. Some Chinese players recommend running Rain Whisperer weapons and Formband armor, while other guides, especially those built around exquisite scenery, suggest using the healer set instead. Because of this, it's very easy for newer players to feel lost when trying to decide which setup to invest in. What I recommend personally is using the Rain Whisperer set for the weapon and the Moonflare set for the gear set. The setup is consistent, efficient, and saves you a huge amount of time when it comes to farming and upgrading your gear, since it comes from the same set. So thankfully the tank rotation is very simple, so it's easy to pick up for new players. The way it works, basically you're not gonna use any mystic skills, so all you do is swap in between the two weapons and basically do once every ability of each weapon. You're not going to be animation cancelling almost anything. The only thing is your charge heavy, which at the end of the animation, once you smash the ground, you want to be animation cancelling the hit. Like this, you cancel at the end, so you can keep spamming this and do way more damage than without it. You're going to be way faster. The only skill that you really never use is Sunrush Gale, but everything else you're going to be using it this way. So that's about it for the guide. Again, it's going to be a temporary guide for this build because with the later updates, the build is actually going to change so much. We are going to be using exquisite scenery the more we go on, especially because it gets stronger after tier 4, and with the changes on the bosses, it's going to be way more useful than it is right now. So in my opinion, this is the current best build you should run as a tank because it does crazy damage, it has good survivability, and it basically has everything you need. So I would really recommend running this if you want to play tank. Let me know if you found this useful. I'm also considering creating a healer guide because I know not everyone plays only DPS, so I've been trying to reach kind of everyone with my guides. So thank you for watching, and if you found this useful, please consider subscribing. It really means a lot to me. Bye bye.